What's up, homie?
Me amigos, me homies. What's happening, fellas?
Just chilling, Tay Boy Fresh. What's going on with you? What's up, Pay? What's going on with you, bro?
March Madness.
I see.
March Madness. How's that bracket looking right now?
There's seen better days, but
are your Final Four still alive? That's the first question.
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I did maybe have Arizona in there, but I don't. But I know my champion and the second place team is still up there. I know that for more. I know that for much.
Who was your champion, Pay?
Houston.
In my one bracket I did, all my teams are still alive. So I know when Pay say he might have Arizona, I think he did 2 or 3 games, which is cool. A lot of people do.
Tim Lyons comment. Stop. Tim Lyons comment. Right there.
Which one?
First comment.
We on the overtime?
Tim Lyons on the comment.
What? Why? Are we? We're in the wrong room. I sent y'all the wrong link.
Well, just run it different. Runner up. Well, no, you can't run it opposite. We got to close out and go back in and do something.
No, we don't. Do we? I don't think so.
Yeah, because this isn't on SCN.
No, they all on the same channels.
Okay, well then we good.
Look, we're gonna make an immediate switch. We're gonna jump into overtime, and then we'll go back to work and do the regular homies after that, since we already in the building right here.
Yeah.
I mean, does that work for everybody?
Yeah, work with me. Pay, who was your we ain't talked in a minute. Who was your Final Four?
I told you, I think I had Arizona, Florida.
Thanks, Houston. Tim. Thanks, Tim. Go ahead, Pay.
I'm gonna look at it, pull it up right now. I know Houston's my champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Fine. All right, my Final Four was Auburn, Florida, Alabama, Houston. So all my four is still alive. I got Houston and Auburn in the title game.
I got Florida, Tennessee, Michigan State, and I forgot my other team. Florida, Tennessee, Michigan State. I can't remember the other. Duke. Florida, Tennessee, Michigan State, Duke. That's my Final Four.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat both y'all first. Final Four. I got all SEC. Told y'all. Hey, SEC or the field. SEC. Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida.
There's no way that's happening.
Okay.
Houston's a Big 12 school. Okay.
Yeah,
but I got 3 SEC. Yeah. I mean, that's pushing it too. I mean, 4 teams from one school, that's outrageous. But 3 is still outrageous. So I don't know.
It's happened with 3 before. It's never been 4, but I think 3 one time.
Yeah. Hey, for all y'all that's listening to the live chat, we're on the overtime channel as of right now, but we're going to go back and do the homies channel later on.
We gonna make this OT quick. We ain't gonna spend the whole time. So go ahead. Let me change the info, Big G. So we actually we doing overtime now. We're gonna end up getting off early. How about that?
That'll work. Let's do the overtime. Let's do the overtime topics. Let's get it done and get it cracking.
So overtime, where we at? Do I have the overtime?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I know we on here. I'm looking for the cover though. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is what we talking about real quick.
the 5 topics because I was supposed to be driving the car and driving the ship. So we're just going to get into it and get into it right away. All right. So first topic is Adam Silver, man. All right. Adam Silver done flat out said that the NBA is going to Europe. He said that they're working with FIBA. They're going to get a Euro League in over there in some capacity, which they already have it, but it's not considered NBA. My question to you guys, to take, to pay, how much will this impact the NBA? I think high, but I just want to get you guys' takes, thoughts, process on what this will do concerning the NBA. I think it's going to impact it a lot, but I'll tell y'all my thoughts after I get yours. So, Pay, go ahead, man. What you thinking? What do you think that the Adam Silver saying, listen, it's over. We're going to expand over into Europe. We're going to make NBA teams in Europe. What type of impact do you think that will have on the NBA game today?
I don't think it has any impact on the game. I think it has impact on the pockets of the owners, the governors, and the players. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the players have a vested financial interest in the league now too. I believe they can have I don't know if all players, but some players can have ownership stakes in the squads. So this is just a financial play. You see that in every Fortune 500 company. You expand. You expand for the sake of expanding. You're always trying to grow your portfolio or grow your stock price. This is the NBA doing that in their realm. They're expanding to Europe so they can get another TV deal in Europe. Get get more fans over there watching the game, buying merch and getting more money. That's all this is, financial. I don't think it has any impact on the actual game of the NBA because we've already seen what the Dream Team did and all the globalization of basketball. We've seen that and seen what happens with that. Now, the best players in the world are from all over the world. And not just, born in Philly, born in Chicago, born in California anymore. They're all over the place. So I don't think it has a real impact on the floor. This is all in the boardroom.
Okay. Tate, man, what you thinking? What type of impact do you think that the NBA full expansion in Europe will cause concerning the current NBA as we know it today?
It's gonna have a huge effect. I mean, we've been trending in this direction since Dream Team 1992.
Facts.
Basketball was played in the Olympics for a long time, but it became a worldwide game when our stars went around the world, played the world, beat the world. You saw Michael Jordan, you saw Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and all the biggest stars. They don't even make the teams like that anymore. They just picked all the best player regardless of fit. Nowadays, they try and pick the Olympic teams based off fit and structure. That's why you see some guys make it. It's not maybe somebody better than him, but back then, they just got all the best players and threw them in the room and said, we're going to make this work. So I think it has an incredible amount of financial implications that will boost the NBA's value and profits. That's what I was researching right now. And, sidebar real quick, we talking money, right? Because the NBA's value will obviously grow.
Facts.
If they start this Euro League and it's successful. I mean, I think they're wanting and expecting, they're looking for the next great American-born Caucasian player. And we think it could be Cooper Kupp because the best Caucasian players over the past 15 years have been European. We know we've had Dirk. We know we had Luka. We got Joker. We've had so many. So I think that will boost the American market too, just like Caitlin Clark did. If you saw Cooper Kupp last night, dude was giving the business.
Buckets.
Buckets. Like he had a stat line that's never been reached in the NCAA tournament, like 36, 37 points, 7 boards, 8 assists. No player ever in tournament history has had that many points with that many boards and that many assists. So I think it's on the way up. I was going to ask y'all, just, I don't think you know because I didn't know how to look it up. But, Pay, what would you say the total financial value of the NBA is right now today?
One, his name is Cooper Flagg. Two,
estimated. He said Cooper Cup. Yeah, he sure did.
Because on the NBA channel, y'all said, I just want me a Cooper because Cooper's be winning. You said Cooper DeJean, Cooper Cup. I want Cooper Flagg. And ever since then, I've been messing it up. But yeah, you're right. Go ahead. Thank you.
An estimate, I would put the NBA's value, financial value, somewhere in the ballpark of 300 billion.
Ooh.
What say you, Big G?
I'm not going no 300 billion. That's a whole lot of dineros and donuts, bro. I say maybe 3 or 4 billion, maybe 3 or 4.
No, the Lakers worth more than that.
The Celtics just sold for 6, so
yeah,
okay.
And they're going to sell again in a couple of years for 7.
100 billion. I'll go 100 billion. I'm not going 300.
You closer than Pay. So what would you say if you say 300 billion for the NBA? What you say for the NFL, Pay?
Oh, the NFL is closing in on $1 trillion. That's easy.
No.
Listen. If one team is worth 6, and that's a high market team. You're going to keep going. They won't sell. This is how you do that. If one team is worth 6, the next team has got to be worth 6 or better. That's just how it goes. So if you make 6 your baseline, you do that by current
value. Not what they projected to be. Current value.
No. That is the current value. Once one team goes for a number, the next team will go for the next.
I understand that, you projecting out. But I'm saying right now, today, I just looked it up and stuff. I'm gonna tell you. So you said $1 trillion.
I said 300 billion for the NBA.
Oh, right.
No.
You said $1 trillion for the NFL.
I said closing in on $1 trillion.
Okay. Big G, what say you about the NBA?
So I said the NBA is about 100 million, and I'm gonna say the NFL is about 180 or 190 million.
Big G, closer again.
Yeah, that's not
Big
bro.
G, I want you to teach the finance class with homies finance class we're gonna have. And we're gonna have Pace at the front of the room.
Yeah, with a pencil. With a pencil. With a pencil. Not a pen, a pencil.
For this particular course. The NBA right now, current value. What do you say, Pay?
You all not doing this right, but continue.
I'm not doing what right? If you project now,
doing evaluations right.
One day, I just looked it up. The NBA currently is worth value 138 billion. 138.
That's not about right. That's not about right.
The NFL current value, which I thought was going to be much more than NBA, is worth 30 billion more.
Yeah,
right now
about 170. Yeah, about 170 billion.
Yeah. So them numbers I just looked up. I mean, I didn't know it either. I probably would have guessed at least for the NFL 500 billion. I wouldn't have went to no trillion though. But the NBA, I might have been around the 2. I know the NFL is worth, I thought way more than what it is, but about worth 30 billion more. But so we're just talking about the money aspect of it. And with that, real quick, Big G, can y'all, or y'all just, I know you can't, I'm gonna put up a graphic. Name the top 5 highest paid sports broadcasters and analysts. Either one, broadcaster, analyst, top 5. Who would you say?
Stuart Scott. I mean Stephen A. Smith, number 1. He number 1, bread. I'll say him. What's baby boy from Pat McAfee, probably number 2. Probably Joe Klatt is up there, close to number 3.
Ooh, you got some right so far. Go ahead.
Who's NBC's top guy?
Who does the games with Collinsworth?
Oh yeah, Al Michaels.
No, he went to Amazon. He left.
So who's the guy that does
Tirico? Mike Tirico.
Mike Tirico. He probably number 4, and whoever the NBA's top person is.
So you left out Charles Barkley. He makes about 25 a year.
Ding to pay.
Mm-hmm.
It's one. Big G, you got who you get right? Who the first 2 you said? Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, yeah.
One, and you said another one. Who said that?
Pat McAfee.
Them two was in the top 5. Pay. So you came with Barkley. So if you go with Big G's first 2, which they right, that's 3. Give me 2 more.
You left out Greenberg.
Oh yeah.
Greeny.
Yeah. Greeny's up there. But so Joe Klatt ain't up there?
Nah.
Joe Buck?
What's my man? What's the dude? Look, the dude that does the Masters.
Joe Buck is 4. Go ahead, Pay. What you say?
So Joe Buck is 4. Okay.
Make sure I got 4 out of 5.
What's the guy name that does the Masters?
Jim Nance.
Jim Nance.
That's a real good. I ain't thinking that's a real good one. Here they go, in order. Can y'all see that? You got Tom Brady make $37 million a year.
I forgot about Tom.
Barkley make 23. Stephen A. make 20. Troy Aikman make $18 million a year.
Trash.
Tony Romo make it look like 14 or 15. Pat McAfee makes 17. So Romo must make 18. Pat McAfee makes 17. Shaquille O'Neal make look like 11. And Joe Buck make, can't see that number. Can y'all see that? Make that number?
Look like 16 million or 15 million.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the top 8.
Yeah.
So if you're going top 5, okay, Joe Buck was in the list. So
Troy Aikman shouldn't be up there, dog. Troy Aikman. Listen, I can't watch a game with Troy Aikman calling it. I can't watch a game with him calling or Chris Collinsworth. They're horrible. Chris Collinsworth and Troy Aikman just need to go. Now, Tony Romo know what the hell he's talking about. Tony Romo will tell you what the play during happening before.
I thought you can't stand listening to Tony Romo.
No. Troy Aikman.
Oh, Troy
Aikman and Chris Collinsworth, they got, and Brady ain't too far from him. Brady horrible too. Even though he can call a play out, Brady's like too mechanical and all whatever else.
Well, he knew. Last year was his first year.
Bro, you either got it or you don't. In this field, you either got the chops or you don't got the chops, bro. Brady don't got the chops. He knows football, but Tony Romo knows it and has the chops, man.
Well, Tony Romo, I didn't like Tony Romo at first, but he's grown on me.
Oh man, Tony Romo calling out the play.
What do you think about him, Pay?
Romo or Brady?
Look at his face. He looked like a zombie, dog.
He gotta be frozen.
Look, that boy looked like a straight up big fine zombie. Look at that boy face.
He look like one of the walkers on The Walking Dead.
Boy, that boy looked straight froze, eyes rolled back up in his head, looked like Zombie Land USA, dog. Look, he hurried up and went out of there because when he come back, he gonna look like old Zombie Land.
No, he out. It was just stuck on his face.
It's straight froze, bro. I see it down at the bottom. That boy looked froze. Oh my God.
That wasn't a good look. You seen that March Madness commercial with Clark Kellogg and he freeze up?
Yeah, that boy. Hey, Pay was either high junk or froze. I don't know which one of the
That's why I said if that face was like that so long with no blinking or nothing, he gotta be froze.
Yeah, he zoned out.
But no, I think Brady get paid because of his cachet.
Mm-hmm. But I think Brady gonna get up out of there in a minute, man. Tate, I don't think he's gonna last too much longer. I think Brady gonna get up out of there, man.
I think he signed a 5-year deal. I'll stay for. You work 17, 18 weeks a year. You getting $37 million?
Oh yeah. I mean, come on now. But I just don't.
Why would you leave that?
Yeah. But I just think he ain't gonna stick. He might stay with it, but he not. But Brady about to do some strange things with them Raiders, man. Brady about to do some strange things with them. Now, Tate, this was my take. I'm gonna go back to what we was talking about. This was my take.
Go ahead.
I think that the NBA will hurt if the Euro NBA is added. Because in my opinion, the NBA is not well when expansion happens. I remember the expansion years that happened in the 90s. People don't want to talk about how the expansion years affected the NBA in its totality. I remember the trash Vancouver. The only expansion team that jumped in the league that was nice within 2 or 3 years was the Orlando Magic. The Miami Heat was trash. The Vancouver Grizzlies was trash. Charlotte was trash. They was trash.
Who was their best player?
On which team?
Orlando. When
they first went, Scott Skiles. It was Scott Skiles when they drafted Nick Anderson. Then within a year or two, they got Shaq.
And then a year after that, they got Penny.
Yeah.
But see, and I understand what you're saying for 1989, right? No difference between then and now was the Dream Team was after that expansion.
Yeah.
Basketball is a global game now. You find talent all around the world. You got guys like Fran Frechetta, the overseas Euro scout. Where you get guys that get drafted out of Europe that ain't played no college basketball, that they just see upside in they drafted. So it's a lot more better talent pool now than it was then. And they probably wouldn't have the ability to take 3 players off each existing team now like they did back then.
Yeah, they
like to me, players, you got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they killed the league last time when they was robbing dudes. And they still was trash. Miami was freaking horrible. Ronnie Cycli and them was trash. Vancouver, I can't even tell you they first couple of dudes. They was that trash. They was garbage. Toronto picked off Charles Oakley and I forgot the other one of the other main dudes they picked off. But what they did is they destroyed teams that was building to try to win a championship based on their expansion. And I hope that you're right concerning what will happen moving forward. Will they do more of a Euro thing or allow them to have more draft picks and stuff like that to help build up teams faster? Yeah. And the big thing is, Tate, is the travel, bro. That's more than anything. How in the hell they gonna do it? I just don't see how they're gonna do it.
It's obviously they done did the R&D to figure this out, right? They've done that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you send a team like you go on a West Coast road trip, like and you stay over there for a couple weeks. When you go to Europe, you're gonna play everybody in Europe in their house before you come back to the United States. And every team gonna do that. And the European teams might make 2 trips over here. But the first trip, they're gonna play about half the teams, go back, play at home for a little bit, they come back again and play the other half the teams.
So do you think it'll move past 82 games?
Now, if anything, that may lessen the games to me because of the travel. I can see the NBA cutting some of the regular season games.
Hey man, listen, punishment. You on every channel smoking that sauce, dog.
What Pun say? Shout out Big Pun. Hey, Big G. Oh, Big B Dirt say Brady signed 10 years. Yeah, that's 37 years. You're right, B Dirt. I thought it was 5, but so he could leave early on 10. But I'm at least staying for the 5 ball and get my $300 million almost off that.
Punishment. Lonzo and Larry Johnson didn't come till 2, 3, 4 years after they was the Charlotte Hornets. They was garbage at first. Believe me, them first 2, 3 years, they was trash. They didn't come. They wasn't all like that. Believe me. I think got drafted after Larry Johnson. They had J.R. Reed, Rex Chapman, Dale Curry.
I think Rex Chapman was their first pick. I think Rex Chapman was their inaugural pick.
Yeah, they had, and then they picked Rex Chapman first, and the next year they picked J.R. Reed. And then later on they got Larry, and then they got Zoe. They wasn't all like that at first. Punishment. Come on, man. I'm talking about the first 2, 3 years. They was garbage. All them expansion teams was trash except for Orlando. And that's because they hit the jackpot with Shaq, I think, in their second draft or second or third draft, they hit the jackpot with Shaq. But all the rest of them, they was trash. Miami Heat was super duper trash. They was, oh my God, they're Ronnie Cycli.
Larry Johnson was drafted in 1991.
Right. They came into Charlotte Hornets was 88. 87, 88. So they was in the league 3 years before LJ. And then they picked Zoe after LJ. Zoe was after LJ.
I think Zoe was like the next year, maybe.
Yeah, Zoe was at they consecutive
Rex,
drafts. Now you know you mess with a know-it-all. I know we on the homies.
Rex Chapman was drafted in 1988.
Yep.
With Charlotte's first pick, not first overall, but their first round pick, number 8.
Then it was J.R. Reed. Then after J.R. Reed, I can't remember if I don't know if it was Kendall Gill after J.R. Reed, but it was Kendall Gill, Larry Johnson, Zoe. They went, that was 3 in a row.
J.R. Reed was drafted 89.
Yep. There we go. So Rex, J.R. Yeah, come on, dog. You know I know. They was garbage. Charlotte was trash.
Kendall Gill was drafted in 1990, number 5. Yep. So with Rex Chapman, J.R. Reed,
Gill,
Larry Johnson.
Yep.
And then Alonzo. So Alonzo came in their 5th season. Pause.
Yep.
He was drafted in their 5th season.
Yeah. They wasn't even relevant. And Miami was worse than relevant. They was super duper trash. Miami got good because they traded a whole bunch of different people.
Lonzo was drafted number 2 overall.
Yeah.
And he was behind number 1 was Shaq. That was the year of the dream team. Shaq should be on the dream team, but they went with Duke, Christian Laettner, who was a baller in college, and they hoping the same thing don't happen with Flag that happened with Laettner. Baller in college.
Yeah.
The all-time leading scorer in tournament history. Right now, still today.
Facts. But they was not, and I'm going to repeat this, the NBA was watered down. So, Tate, I believe wholeheartedly, if they take the model that you're talking about, allow them to have more draft picks and build their roster base more of the Euro player versus the current NBA player, we might be okay. But if they go the other way, the old school way, whoo, it's going to be ugly.
I think all teams have to do something like make two players in their roster available, and the G League is wide open.
Okay.
That's fair. There's just way more talent now. I mean, it's more teams, so you get probably about 4 to 6 more teams than it was back then. So that's adding 10, 12 more players into the pool that are NBA players already. You got a whole G League to choose from. And we've expanded all to Europe, where it's beast in Europe.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying there's some dogs over there. I ain't saying. Back then, back when they expanded before, the dogs was Drazen Petrovic, Tony Kukoc, Arvydas Sabonis. Them was the only dudes that we knew about back then.
And Sabonis didn't come till he's like 33 years old.
Yeah, Uwe Blob. Remember Uwe Blob, Douglas Shrimp? And Douglas Shrimp played in America, so did Uwe Blob. But as far as collegiate level, but that's how we knew about the Euro players. We didn't know like how we know now. So I do agree in some capacity, bro.
You got Drazen Petrovic. I mean, you had all not near as many, but now it's way more. I mean, you just like I said, worldwide, you got like 3 of the 5 probably best players in the world are from Europe.
I agree.
SGA from Canada. What are we talking about? 4 of the top 5 are not from the United States.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Everybody but Jason Tatum. Everybody but Jason Tatum. Everybody but Tatum is for straight Euro. So I agree. But if they don't go about it the way that they did it last time, then we'll be all right. What B. Durr said? He said the league itself
is completely different than 30 years ago. More money, more assets, more scouting, better development. That's true. That's where I'm at, B. Durr. That's kind of what I'm alluding to.
Rob Lightfoot said Vlade Divac. Yeah, he was a dog. That's another Euro dude. Yeah, but he was trickled in. He came in after the 90s.
Yeah, not after the 90s, but like 94, somewhere around there.
No.
He played with Magic.
But he was on the 91 Laker team that played the Bulls in the finals. He was on that squad. They starting 5 was Vlade Divac.
Kareem didn't play there. You're right. It was Vlade Divac, Eldon Campbell, James Worthy, Magic Johnson, Byron Scott. That was their starting 5. Yeah, Kareem last played when they lost to the Pistons.
Yep, and then they had Sam I Am was on that team too. Sam Perkins, he was on that team too.
Yeah, I think he was the starting center. Vlad, you're probably right. But then the Lakers' best move with Vladi was trading him for Kobe. So
he's super smart.
We know how that worked out.
Super smart.
But Big G's going to take the first break, and then the second part, we're just going to get this thing wrapped up so we can jump over to our homies regular. Maybe Pay can get back in that studio. He still ain't been back.
Because that boy was high. That boy was high.
Mr.
I hope
Woodsey said Jerry West, all-time Laker great, Mr. Woodsey. Probably top 6.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 5 Lakers better than Jerry West?
Yep.
5, like we know LeBron better, but I can't really count LeBron as a total Laker. So Magic, Kareem, Kobe. Shaq's best years were with the Lakers. I count Shaq. He played 4 years in Orlando.
Yep.
And then he went to Miami, won. But I still say, because he was so dominant, won 3 championships, won 3 MVPs. I was telling the cats at the barbershop yesterday, is talking about like Kobe. I said, man, the first 3 chips, Kobe won because of Shaq. Now, then Kobe wasn't a factor, but Shaq was the most dominant machine ever in the world playing basketball at that time.
They had to change the rules. They changed the rules because Shaq. They had to change the rules. That made everything change.
I remember I got into an argument back then with the homie Mark Dog. You know, shout out to homie Mark is right. I said, man, Lonzo Mourning better than Shaq. That's what I said then. This is like 93. This is like 30-something years ago. And I'm arguing that point. That turned out to be one of the worst takes ever.
Facts. The 5 best Lakers, in my opinion, Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq.
Big pun.
So I like Wilt, but dog, you gotta look. If you look at the body of work, bro, James Worthy, dog. James Worthy was a killer.
Oh, but he's not better than Wilt, though.
Okay, so I go Wilt 5, maybe James Worthy 6.
So okay, but I wouldn't be mad at that. But who is your top 4 before James Worthy? Or
Kareem, Magic, Kobe, and Shaq.
Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq, and then Jerry West, and then James Worthy.
No, Wilt number 5.
Oh, Wilt number 5. Yeah.
But Jerry West couldn't get nothing until Wilt got there. He couldn't get nothing. And if you're going to talk about Jerry West, Elgin Baylor got to be right there with Jerry West. Elgin Baylor was a dog.
But Jerry West the logo, but you know.
Bias.
I think we know why he's still the logo. Otherwise, you would have that little man's logo that's on my shoe tongue right now.
Your ordinary logo would be number 1, baby.
And you already know. Go ahead and read Tim's comment, Big G. We're going to take that break. We're going to get back and finish this up. I know you got to talk about JuJu, and we're going to talk about baseball opening day, and we can call it a wrap.
Tim said he said at everybody. He said, what's cracking? At Afton, at the Running Through the Jungle, Mr. Woodside, Dennis Pavlock, the Quad Father, Pittsburgh Tolly, Jaime, Big Punishment. There's a lot of people over in there. Rob Life, the Seattle Supersonics. Get them out of here, Rob.
They won a championship. They was good. I was arguing that too. Like, you got to think about it. Everybody talk about, I say Jordan had, at the barbershop. That's, man, a homie, we're going to have shop talk about the AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
But they were saying, what they say? What I just bring up? What
the Supersonics?
Oh, yeah, I don't even remember, man. But it's not even worth getting into. Go ahead.
The Supersonics wasn't. Get them out of here. They didn't do nothing. They won one with Dennis Johnson and them in the 70s. Get them out. They was not. No. They made one other appearance when they ran up against the money in them, and they got their domes cracked. So no. And I'm gonna say this last thing, and we're gonna go to commercial break. The most underrated championship basketball team ever, in my opinion, was the back-to-back Houston Rockets. That was the most underrated championship squad ever. And I think Mike would have got that dome cracked if he would have ran up against Houston. They had that big African, bruh. You couldn't know. Listen, People need to understand the Big African is in the top 10. I had to do a
Who would you talk about just saying Big African?
Hakeem Olajuwon, that Big African.
Oh, okay.
That Big African was different,
if you
dog.
said you African. If you had said Nigeria, I knew you was talking about.
Man, that Big African was different, bro. That he was cracking domes. Nobody could stop Hakeem. Nobody in the freaking league could stop Hakeem. Nobody. David Robertson, Patrick Ewing, run whatever big man you want to run at him. He's giving them straight buckets. They couldn't stop him.
Will played 6 or 7 seasons for the Lakers. He also played for Golden State and Philly, but his two chips are he got one in Philly and one with the Lakers. So he played the majority of his years with the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah, them Rocket boys with some dogs. I give props to what I need to see. The Houston Rockets would have gave the Bulls the business.
Will Chamberlain, like LeBron and I'm missing one person. It's 4-time league MVP, 13-time NBA All-Star, Finals MVP, 2-time champion.
Yeah.
7-time first team on NBA, 3-time second team on NBA. Yeah, we'll up there with all-time Lakers.
Yeah. All right, let's take the break, bro. Let's take the break so we can switch to the other stuff. You can get up on out of here.
All right. If you're watching on YouTube, we're not going anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back to wrap this thing up. And if you listen to audio, we have to hear a few words from our partners and advertisers. I'll be right back after this. I'm going to put up on the screen while we go to break. This Sunday, we talked about it on Pump Your Brakes podcast. We got a special guest on the Know It All Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. You know, my live in Texas. He always in the Central time. Me and Big G try and tell him all the time, East Coast time runs the world. So
he trashed with that trash. Go ahead.
So yeah, we got a special guest, Dallas Cowboys starting left tackle Tyler Guyton. Be sure to tune in Sunday at 6 p.m. to see our show long interview with Tyler Guyton. As me and Big G asked the tough questions about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, we ain't going in there doing all them fanboy type stuff and all whatever else. We get to like it. We gonna ask him like a TI is, dog. Like
and we right back after this.
We back, bro, with the overtime first out of sequence, but it's all still all good. We thank all about 65 of y'all we see about running runners rocking with us live now. Make sure when you're done with this, we're going to have the actual Homies podcast. We'll have payback. We should have everybody else back. We're going to talk AFC North-centric, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns. We'll do a mailbag round robin, and we need your questions. You're going to drive the show or the ship tonight. So super chats get priority. If you super chat us right off the bat, you're going to get priority. Any AFC North question you want asked, you will get it answered from the homies on the Homies over the Homies podcast here in about 15, 20 minutes. All right, Tate, we got one more subject. It's the Sweet 16 of the tournament. All right, we talked about it at the beginning of
because we can finish with that, but let's just jump into baseball. What your team do opening day,
won.
And then you want to ask a question about JuJu too. Knock them two things out, then we go tournament, then we can jump over to homies.
Well, my question about baseball was this: my team won, but I'm not. My expectations ain't nowhere. I know did the Reds drop one? Yeah, the Giants got them. Yeah, the Giants got them. So
in a comeback, I don't know. Tito, our manager, Tito Francona, put in a bum reliever. Jabot, who we had last year, is a bum.
Yeah,
he kind of always look out of shape. He always get dinged around for his.
He looked like before he go to the mound, he just drank a beer.
Yeah,
I swear that's how he looked, man.
That's what he looked like. But we was up 3-2 in the ninth. He put 2 runners on base, but it was 3-2, 2 outs, 2-2, 2 strikes. He gives up a 3-run home run. Now we down 6-3. Just like that. Just like that.
Yeah.
So we gave that game away, but I got to blame Francona for even having him in. So Hunter Green pitched 5 innings, had 8 strikeouts, Struck out 7 of his first 8 batters he faced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was watching a Steeler podcast. Them hosts was talking about Paul Skeens, and Paul Skeens is a beast. They're talking about Paul Skeens got 4 strikeouts already. I commented and said, but Paul Skeens is nice, but the Reds, Hunter Green, the same division, got 8 strikeouts in the first 3 innings.
That's facts. He did. Paul Skeens ain't got no help, dog. They're gonna end up trading him, but that's a whole nother show. So my question about baseball, since I only got you, I'm gonna ask you: does opening week matter? I mean, we play 100 freaking 60, 170, 180 games of baseball. Does opening week have an impact for the trajectory of your team in baseball? Can you have a horrible piss poor opening week, drop 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3, and still be relevant by at least game 50 for Major League Baseball?
Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is be hot in the summer. I mean, baseball is 162 games, like you said, but opening day is relevant because the excitement of the offseason has built all year. In Cincinnati yesterday, it was sold out. It was like 43,000 people in the stadium. In Cincinnati, the kids' schools is closed. People get off work early. All this stuff. So, you know, Cincinnati is the place where they usually start the NBA, you know, opening day. It's different this year because they go to Japan, they do stuff, but Cincinnati was usually have the first of the season opener. So it's definitely big still, win or lose. I mean, I think you want to be a really good team, you start out coming out winning like 10 out of 15. That gets you off to a good start. You know, so but when you lose the opener, that's not over, but you want to win because the energy and you build momentum starting right away. You waste a good performance by Hunter Green, striking out 8 or 9 batters in 5 innings. You got to lead all the way to the 9th with 2 outs and 2 strikes. So that was deflating, but they didn't play again today. They play tomorrow. So we'll see how they come back tomorrow.
Yeah. I think the emphasis on opening day, like how you said, is that people look at it as, okay, this is where, you know, all the build up for the season. We want to see what they look like right away. But I think they're not even really playing baseball until about game 20, game 25. Game 20, game 25. If you can stay 500 or close to 500 through the first 20 games, you're going to be relevant if you have a decent team. I think teams really start getting momentum. I'm headed towards the right direction. Game 20, game 25. But some teams, man, like you said, the opening loss is so deflating. They're like, man, we still trash. We ain't got no chance to do nothing. And that hurts sometimes. That hurts some organizations.
That's the White Sox the past few years.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of teams like that.
There's a lot of teams. They win like 38, 40 games last year out of 162.
I was calling for 25. Remember, I bet that quarter time and lost it. I said they was going to win 25 games. You know, but we might have that happen again though this year because there's some trash teams out there again, bro. Oh my God, there's some trash teams.
You know, man, every team gonna win more than 25 games, Big G. Every team.
Man.
I mean, to only win 25 games, you have to be 25 and 137. You have to have 137 losses.
You suck. Matter of fact, they need to close your organization down.
You need to be in the minor leagues playing with your minor league players. If your major league team lose 137 games, you're not the major league team.
I'm lightweight saying that if you don't win more than 40, dog. If you don't win more than 40, you suck. They need to shut your organization down, dog. That's ridiculous. You play 170 games, 180 games, and you can't win 162, and you can't win 40. You trash. You trash. 40 and 122.
In any league, in any year, 100 losses is a lot of losses. So you should be able to win like 60 games for real.
That's like remember the movie Major League? That's like how the Indians was. The Indians was in Major League. They was like 39 and 120 something. They was trash, you know. It's some teams they looking like Major League out there, dog. That's
not the real Indians. That's why they use the Indians for that movie. Because back in the day, the Indians was trash before the Jim Thome, Albert Bell days, and Sandy, Roberto Alomar. You know, what's his name? Played for Boston too. Was it Martinez?
Not Ramirez. Ramirez.
Yeah. Manny Ramirez. Yeah.
Yeah.
So them Cleveland teams had good teams.
Yeah. But they was trash back in the 80s, though. They was garbage. they was so damn, oh my God, they was horrible.
Right.
You know, and the White Sox is like that now, too. The White Sox ain't gonna win what about 30 games, dog. They gonna win about 30, 35, man, maybe 30, 35. They horrible, dog. They horrible. Horrible teams. All right, last subject, man. That's it. Really bad. Why get fined?
Because you didn't pay. You were froze.
That's your Wi-Fi that's being big trash right now because I'm straight.
Hey,
I got all my bars.
Did anybody in the live chat see G freeze? I didn't have no problem getting the fine up. I just heard you go pause and I hit the fine button. That went through. So I don't know. That's what I'm asking the live chat. But go ahead.
My heart went out to JuJu, man. I was hurting, bro. You know, that it was so unfortunate, man. You know, I really think that young lady is special, man. And you know, Tate, I had that knee injury, bro. So I tore my ACL and my ICL, man. And like, man, you know, and so is that going to take and South Carolina was in trouble. I don't know if they won. They was losing with like 3 minutes left. They won.
They beat Maryland by 5. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was close.
So Maryland good though. I didn't realize one of Maryland's best players is Brad Sellers' daughter, Cheyenne Sellers.
Yeah, she a dog.
Brad Sellers played with Michael Jordan in the late 80s, was from Ohio State, was nice. His game would translate today for a bit. He's like a poor man's Evan Mobley.
Yeah, that's facts.
Today, that's how he was then.
Skinny shooting threes.
Yeah.
Thought he was a guard. 7 foot, thought he was a guard.
Yeah, he was nice.
Yeah, he was nice.
For the time.
Yeah, they had him and Dennis Hobson and Jay Burson, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah. Anyway, so now with that happening over in the women's side, do you think there's still going to be a lot of eyes watching it? And with the men's side, you calling for an all SEC finals, man. What do you think's got to happen is just to rev this thing up? Because I think a lot of folks are starting to watch it and pay attention more than normal, bro. I think this year's tournament's got a lot of interest.
Because it's so wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you know just the team gonna make it, when the 90 UNLV playing, when the Leitner Hurley Duke playing, you know they gonna make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a couple of teams like that right now. I think a lot of people went chalk with Auburn and Duke.
Mm-hmm.
But I think them the only chalk teams. Maybe Florida probably ranked 3rd and get into the Final Four.
Mm.
You know, so it's kind of a chalk March Madness, right? I mean, Florida's number 1 seed, Auburn's number 1 seed, Duke's number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I got Duke losing to Alabama tomorrow. They play tomorrow at 8:50. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Houston's number 1 seed. I got them losing to Tennessee, who BTA in right now.
Yeah.
They BTA in 43-28 at halftime against University of Kentucky.
It's over with, dog. It's over.
Tennessee coming back. You see Arkansas come back last night against Texas. Texas Tech came back against Arkansas last night. The biggest comeback in second biggest comeback in Sweet 16 history.
Mm-hmm. Listen what the punishment. Look what this boy said, Tate. He said, stop it, Big G. Caitlin brought eyes. Ain't no one watching these clumsy women. That is sexist. Them women can hoop. Punishment. I bet money you can't beat the top 50. The top 50 players will take punishment. Matter of fact, the top 100 players will take punishment to the dojo. They're gonna play 15, make it, take it. They win it 15-0 straight games. He ain't gonna see no. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. Punishment. Them women can hoop, bro.
Your eyes were on Caitlin, and same reason eyes are on Cooper Flagg. Eyes was going to be on JuJu. She the face of women's basketball. Even her and Caitlin Clark. I mean, JuJu got billboards up in Times Square right now.
Yeah.
She got Nike endorsements. She got State Farm endorsements. I mean, you know, No different than what Caitlin had, but JuJu was in her sophomore year. She scored more points than anybody. She's like number 3 behind, as far as your first 2 years, behind like Cheryl Swoops and one other person. And I like to say, as far as her injury, it's sad that she's not in the tournament, but she's going to come back better than ever. I mean, let's not forget Candace Parker tore her ACL too. Candace Parker is one of the greatest women all time after she tore her ACL.
Yeah.
So JuJu going to be back and probably come back better than she is now because she's going to have the drive and passion to want to work at it.
Punishment, my daughter would kill you. My daughter who tore her Achilles right now would bust your grill, dog. If you play one-on-one with my daughter, she would wear you out, dog. My daughter is one of the all-time leading high school scorers in her school. She's going to give you business. She going to give you business, bro. You ain't beating her.
But
that ain't let alone the college ladies.
It's fair to say that she good, but we don't know what Pun working with though. You don't know. He could be 6'8" and got a real game. You don't know.
Punt, no, he ain't getting no. Get him.
Now, if you were just saying like Claude, I got Claude losing. But I don't know.
Wait. Punt, give us your measurables. He talking about you dunk or break the backboard. What's your measurables? You better not be saying your measurables better be 6'6", about 235. And you better be under the age of 50. Because if you get to talk about you 6'2", 6'3", 300 something, hell no, you ain't dunking the basketball. So let's get some measurements in here. Let's get some relativity. Because no way. Yeah, you see, it got quiet. Oh, Mr. Woodside said, where Claude? I don't know where Claude at, but I got a sneaky suspicion Claude gonna be sneaking around there in a minute, man. Sneaking around in a minute.
Yeah,
but Tate, so you saying 4 is gonna happen, the record's gonna get broke. SEC 4 in the Final Four, and the SEC team's gonna win it.
Yeah.
Punishment said he's 6'3", 225. His vertical is a 38, and he runs a 4.44. Punishment, how old are you? And why ain't you in somebody's league? The punishment said he's 6'3", 225. He said his vertical is a 38, and he runs a 4.40. Why are you not? Well, how old are you, and why are you not playing?
It sounds like he should be a safety somewhere.
Yeah, that's NFL. Where you at? Where you at, and why ain't you playing? Because listen, I got some pull now. I can get you somewhere if you need to get somewhere. If you at the right age, man, But my daughter still is gonna give you some bucks. He said 30. Oh, he said, oh, okay. I understand. He said he's 32, bro, and he got bad habits. Okay, I understand.
Oh,
well, if you got bad habits, you ain't running no damn 4.4. You ain't running no damn 4. Stop that.
He may have ran a 4.4 in his best day.
Yeah,
back in the day.
He ain't running no damn 4.4 if he got bad habits. Stop that punishment. Stop that. See, you out there telling untruths. I'm gonna tell you like Big B always said. You on that sauce again, dog? What you doing? What you doing, bro? Stop it.
Yeah.
All
man,
right.
No, we got one more. Anything else? So let's go jump over to overtime before we exceed.
The regular.
We get out of here. Get out of here 8 minutes shorter than usual.
Yeah. So we thank all y'all for rocking with us on the overtime. We're going directly to the homies. And like I said, it's wide open. Super chats are wide open. You go to the top of the heat. We will cycle through all the questions that's asked concerning the AFC North Barbershop Talk Roundtable. Y'all going to drive the car. We're going to talk a lot of things about AFC North with speculation stuff, where teams at concerning current roster depth, what moves you want to see a team make. We're going to talk all that stuff with all the AFC North teams in about less than 5 minutes. So thanks for rocking with us, and we'll be back. Tate, you got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. See you over there, man. Don't forget to tune in Sunday to the Know-It-Alls. We have Dallas Cowboy special guest, starting left tackle. Tyler Guyton was a first-round pick just in the 2024 draft. It was all rookie team, his first rookie year. So they did big things from him. So we'll see. So be sure to check us out on the homies. This is backwards, but on the homies in about the next 5 minutes. With that being said, we out.
Peace.
Mamba out.